has it that Andreina and Ace were allegedly messing around behind Shelly's back and all HLL is broken loose, y'all. Oh my. Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. So, today we are talking Season 7 of Love Island USA. Post-season, it is the gift that keeps on giving. We are in the trenches, you guys, of Love Island USA Season 8. We have a week left of this show, you guys. You know what I'm saying? But Season 7, you know what I'm saying? They're the gift that keeps on giving. They keep saying, listen, look at here. We are not going to let you rest. We are not going to let you live. We are not going to let you move on. We're going to continue to do whatever it is that we need to do to let you know that RT is going to run supreme. That RT is going to run supreme. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, what has happened, we are here for an unfortunate reason. So, Shelly had a recent interview that came out as far as who was she still cool with in the villa, right? Who was she still closest to in the villa, right? From her season, right? She said she was cordial with everyone, right? Cordial with everyone. But she said this.
Listen, I was having my cake and eating it too. Which Islanders are you still friends with today? Honestly, I'm pretty cordial with everyone, but I would have to say Clark, Sierra, Andreina, those are my girls. I love them bad, so love them. Shout out to them. What was your first reaction when you came out of the villa? It was WTF. What the freak is going on? What do you mean all these people are following me? What do you mean this is what my DMs is looking like? What do you mean my face is all over my TikTok feed? I think that was the craziest thing to see because, again, you're in the villa for 2 months, no phone, no communication. You almost forget what it feels like to have a phone. And now I have it in my hand and it's going crazy. So yes, WTF was the most valid reaction I could give. What was your reaction to the bullying narrative? Oh, ridiculous. Ridiculous, because what do you mean? I think that was the most ridiculous narrative. And then I also think it was even more ridiculous to have some people that I knew playing into that. Are we being serious?
So, as you can see, that is Shelly confirming in this interview that just dropped a couple of days ago that she's cordial with the entire cast. However, she was closest to currently Sierra, Andreina, and Clark, y'all. Now, I believe a couple of days or so ago, Shelly must have blocked Ace or unfollowed Ace or whatever the case may be. I didn't think it was a big deal. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that should have happened when the breakup was announced at the end of last year. You know what I'm saying? However, apparently, allegedly, there are some new developments because Shelly had unfollowed Andreina today. And so, unfortunately, Shelly was getting dragged for this all day. And people were calling Shelly a bad friend and that Shelly can't keep friends and all this and all of that. And what happened was one of Shelly's besties from before the show had decided to enter the chat. Had decided to enter the chat with a couple of posts and deletes that we are going to get into. You know what I'm saying? So some people were tweeting that it was weird that Shelly had unfollowed Ace and Andreina. So the friend had replied, no, y'all weird, and so are the two people she unfollowed. Go ask them why, which with a B, is one of the responses that she did. Next, the friend quoted a tweet that said, I don't think Andreina would even stoop down to the level of effing that labubu, so wonder where these rumors are coming from. And Shelly's friend said, but her gigantic ASS did bend down that low, play with somebody else, bookie. Then the best friend also had tweeted, honestly, I'm tired of everyone always speaking on SHIT about my best friend when y'all don't know SHIT. End of the day, witches will be snakes, and Shelly wanted the realest to come out of that villa. Here's the thing, you guys. Here's the thing. I peeped Shelly. A lot of people didn't like Shelly. A lot of people still do not like Shelly for a multitude of reasons. But out of all of the black women that have been on Love Island, right? And we might need to extend this across all franchises. Shelly, in terms of having a experience where all these men wanted her, nobody was trying to do her dirty in that villa. They all said that she had this aura about her and all this and all of that that drew these men in. They were feeling her deep, right? Whether it was Austin, whether it was Ace, whether it was Charlie, whether it was Chris, you know what I'm saying? And there were a couple of other Casa guys that were interested as well. And we did not usually see that on the show. We always saw the black women being picked last or not being picked at all when it was time to do initial recouplings. We always saw them getting played for, you know, pretending to be in a couple, pretending to like them until their actual type came in. And then some of them have mastered the art of scamming and pretending to be interested in all the things. And I remember specifically with Ace and Shelly, you know what I'm saying? Y'all decampaigned last season and said that they were secretly married. They secretly had kids. They used to date. They used to be involved with each other. And I was like, nah. You know what I'm saying? I felt like just being in each other's likes and comments was not enough for me to say that they had anything going on. Because here's the thing. If you guys had a past like that with Shelly and Ace and they were really scamming, a scandal like this wouldn't have had to happen. Let me say that again. If Shelly and Ace were really secretly married with 2 kids, there would be no scandal like this taking place, right? But it is foul to me, if this is true, that Andreina was stooped this low. You know what I'm saying? Like you already got embarrassed by Johnny after Love Island Games, basically low-key confirming that y'all had the SEX. You were trying to be what Tyreek played in your face. Then you were chasing around Jeremiah this entire time on Beyond the Villa, and Jeremiah, you know what I'm saying, was basically friend zoning you at every single turn. So you play in Shelly's face for this past year. You know what I'm saying? Make it seem like y'all are cool, y'all are besties, all of this and all of that, only for you to be messing around with her ex. And that's the thing too. I've got so many questions. When did this happen? You know what I'm saying? When did her and Ace link up? Was this while Ace and Shelly were together? You know what I'm saying? Did this happen last year? Did this happen this year? Was there any point in time after Shelly and Ace broke up that there was a possibility of reconciliation? Because there was times that they were spotted at the same events. They were both spotted at the You, Me, and Tuscany premiere. They were also at the Normani's 90s themed birthday party, and people were speculating, oh, since they're both at these same events, maybe they're back together, but they were never spotted together. Nobody could find any receipts that they were together. And I believe they both just went to recent concerts together. However, Ace and Taylor were in one section and Shelly and Clark were in another section. But I still didn't even get the vibe at that point that Shelly and Ace were secretly back together and we're going to pull the wool from everyone's eyes. I just wasn't seeing it. I feel like Shelly's the type, once she's done, she's done. You know what I'm saying? Like, once she's done with you, she's done. And for her to unfollow people, I think the only other people she's followed from the cast was Huda. I think the only person from the cast that she has unfollowed was Huda. But if it is true, and allegedly the best friend is confirming this and tweeted and deleted, and listen, I understand you were sick of Shelly getting drug up and through here, but I don't know if this was right to come out with this. You know what I'm saying? Because then it's just going to bring back the whole discourse again. over Shelly and the ace of it all, that, oh, she should have been left ace. You know what I'm saying? They should have never been together after the show and all this and all of that. And if you look at his following, he follows nothing but big booty Latinas anyways, and da 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 da. It would have just been this whole thing, right? It would have just been this whole thing. I think the root of the problem that we need to get to is Andreina is foul as F for sleeping or doing whatever she did with the likes of Ace. And then trying to cover her tracks by unfollowing both Shelly and Ace. You know what I'm saying? Like it's weird. It's weird because you came out, you know what I'm saying, of the villa inviting Shelly, and that's when Shelly first started getting backlash. Remember, Andreina invited Shelly and Sierra to one of her brand pop-up events? And I think it was either Andreina or Sierra had posted it on Snapchat that they were all out together. They were all this thing. But guess who got drugged? The only person who got drugged was Shelly. And it seemed for a while that Andreina and Shelly were cool, but probably, I would say, over the last few months or so, it didn't seem like they were as close anymore. But for you to mess around with Ace, and you're supposed to be a good friend of Shelly's, that's disgusting. Where is the girl code? And this is what I'm talking about. Some of y'all got no girl code. Some of y'all got no decorum, because why is your first instinct to mess with your bestie or your good friend's ex? Or if you potentially messed with them while they were together. That is low down. That is diabolical. That is absolutely disgusting. And you're not going to get no defense from me on anybody that is trifling enough to mess with their friend's man, ex, whatever, right? That just tells me what type of person you are. That tells me you were just pretending to be close to Shelly this entire time. You know what I'm saying? To download intel on her and Ace and swoop in when you thought you had an opportunity. And it's going to be nasty work if they potentially hooked up while Shelly and Ace were together. Either they potentially hooked up while Shelly and Ace were together and Shelly just found out, or Shelly thought this entire time Andreina was still her girl and just found out that her and Ace have a lot more goings on. And I bet you Andreina nor Ace didn't have the balls to tell her. I bet you she found out from somebody else. I bet you another Islander told her. And that's nasty. That is nasty, and that is disgusting. You know what I'm saying? Like that there's no place, you know what I'm saying, where you're going to be out here messing with somebody else's man and not get drugged for it. So all that tells me, as you know what I'm saying, as some of these ladies, you really, your issue really wasn't Shelly. You secretly wanted her man. That was the thing. Y'all really wanted Ace when it was all said and done. And that is crazy work. That is absolutely crazy work, especially after how Ace came across during the show, especially how Ace has been outside of the show with all of his performative nonsense and that cringe interview that he did. You know what I'm saying? Like he has been completely all over the map doing the most. And it's really unfortunate. It is really unfortunate that, you know, Shelly is trying to free herself from the trenches of this cast. You know what I'm saying? Trying to move onward and upward. She's executive producing a new show for love songs and all the things. And she has to find out that somebody she considered one of her besties from the season is messing around with her ex, or potentially messed around with him while they were together. That is nasty. That is absolutely nasty. You know what I'm saying? Nobody deserves that. Nobody deserves any treatment like that. Anybody that goes behind somebody's friend's back, to me, that's nasty. That's diabolical. That is disgusting. I'm really surprised at Andreina and her desperation to be involved with these Love Island men. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, she was, you know, she got dogged out by Tyreek on Love Island Games. She also got dogged out by Johnny from Love Island Games, but still wanted to run it back with Johnny. And Johnny basically just, did what he was going to do. Basically made it known that they slept together. Basically let you know that I could still have ANDREINA and put them on blast when the show was over. And then we see a whole behind the villa nonsense of ANDREINA chasing after Jeremiah, begging Jeremiah to be with her. You know what I'm saying? The desperation was loud and clear. And I guess since that didn't work, since things didn't work out with Tyreek, since things didn't work out with Johnny, since things didn't work out with Jeremiah, you had to go to Ace. You had to go to Ace. That is disgusting and disturbing and diabolical as all get out, y'all. So that's all I got to say on this. I want to know y'all thoughts. I want to know y'all thoughts on this about ANDREINA and Ace allegedly getting down with the get down behind Shelly's back and the bestie confirming it. And like I said, I understand the bestie, you know what I'm saying? I understand you're sick of Shelly getting drugged and still being made, you know what I'm saying? All these things. We're over a year now since her season has ended, and it's still one thing after the other. I get it. But this is awful. This is absolutely awful and low down of ANDREINA and Ace. It's indefensible as far as I'm concerned. Indefensible. And it just shows this entire time ANDREINA was not Shelly's friend ever. She just wanted what Shelly had, which was Ace, which is crazy work. So nonetheless, do me the biggest favor and hype the video, please. There's that. That is it. That is all. Es todos es final. Es finito. It's the end of the road. It's the end of the line for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post the content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.